If me, almost 28-year-old Kim, could go back in time and do it again, I probably would not get married at a young age. What's up, you guys? Some of you may know me, most of you may not. My name is Kim, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I hope that you hit that subscribe button and join my tribe and my family and my community here on YouTube. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. As you can tell by the title of this video, I will be talking about marrying young. Yes, I'll be giving a backstory on me and my husband, as well as some pros and cons, things that I feel like you should probably ask or talk to your partner about first before getting married, and throwing in some statistics that I found online about marriage in general in the United States. So I hope that this helps somebody, anybody, whether you are young and you plan on getting married really soon, or if you are older and plan on getting married soon. I feel like these tips and things could actually help anybody who is in the market of becoming married anytime soon. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So, backstory. I met my husband in 2019. I met him January the 31st. He actually inboxed me on Facebook. We began talking, and then he PCS'd to Hawaii. I was already in Hawaii, and he was coming to Hawaii. We met for the first time in person February the 12th. Hit it off immediately. Like, the connection was crazy. And then by August of 2019, we were married. We got married at 23 and 22 respectively. I was 23, he was 22. And we have been together almost 5 years now. August will make 5 years that we've been married. March of this year actually makes 5 years that we have been in an actual relationship. And out of this marriage, we have now had 2 kids. We have lived in 2 different places, and we're getting ready to go through this moving process again together. My experience so far with being married is it's work. Don't get me wrong, we have fun together. We experience so many things together as a couple. Just being able to do life with somebody who has like the same views as you and who wants the same things out of life as you is great. I will say that we come from 2 different backgrounds, not so much drastic per se, but we do come from 2 different backgrounds. The way things were done for each of us as children is different. So that is something that we had to come together and deal with within our marriage. Before I got married, I actually never lived with a man before. So this is my first time ever living with a man, ever. So there's things that I would see, he do, and I just, like, it would grind my gears, because why are you doing that? Like, who does that? So bringing someone into your space in that way and having to maneuver and understand why people do what they do, it will give you icks about a person. I would definitely say that. And if you see me looking down, I actually did write some notes out here about the things that I want to talk to you guys about today. Also, we are parenting 2 children together. So that also resurfaces traumas and things that we've dealt with growing up and how we want to deal with our children. And they manifest themselves in different ways on how we want to approach it. But those are things that we have talked about, but we're also still relearning those things together, because something may happen and we're like, wow, didn't expect that to happen the way it did, and then boom, you know. But so far it has had its ups and downs because we were so young getting married. We are still learning ourselves, we're still learning each other. We are also tying that into learning our children, and just figuring out what we want in life individually and together, and making that one whole cohesive thing. So some pros and cons I wrote down. Pros and cons to being married at a young age. Now I know that people usually start with cons to get them out of the way, but I'm gonna start with the pros, okay? You get to build a foundation in your family together starting young, especially if you start having children young as well. You are, and I read that it's kind of like, it's called a cornerstone marriage. You know, you're building that foundation. This is how it's gonna go. You know, you experience these things, and then we get to really parent our children in our 30s. And then on the back end, they're gone out of the house, and we still have so much life to live. That's how I see it. You get to grow together, and you get to experience life together, i.e. you hit all of these milestones, you know, still doing, you know, maybe you're still going to school, you're experiencing, you know, celebrating your graduation with your person. You get to travel with your person. If you don't have kids, maybe you do travel. If you do have kids, doesn't matter. However, your pros can also be cons, because another pro is you guys get to set yourself up financially together. You are now a 2-income household in this huge, horrible economy that we have right now in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? With inflation and everything, you've doubled your income for your household. You're no longer, you know, struggling if you were struggling by yourself. You know what I'm saying? But these pros can be cons. Like I said, your chances of divorce skyrocket when you marry young. And it's because of the same pros that I just gave you. They become cons. You have difficulty growing together. You might start realizing that the things you want out of life and the who you are becoming, it just does not align with who your partner is. Your partner has begun to change, and they are no longer the partner that you want. To caveat off of that, change is not a bad thing, okay? In life, we grow and we evolve. People change. If you stay stagnant and you stay the same, honestly, that's a horrible thing. Just because your partner has changed and your partner is no longer the partner you knew or no longer the partner you want to be with, does not mean that your partner is a bad partner. Your partner has just figured out what they want in life. They've gotten older, and it is okay for you two to be like, you know what, you know, the people we're becoming, it's not in alignment with what we originally thought, and we should just go our separate ways and grow that way instead of being together and being miserable. So don't always think of change as a bad thing. And just like how finances, you get to build your finances together and, you know, have, you know, that great financial stability. Financial instability is another reason why divorce rates are high. That is also a con when you're marrying young. You don't have any finances. I mean, what if you come into your marriage with tons of debt? What do you do then? You know, you're paying off student loans, your partner has bad credit, you two get together, you get married, y'all can't even get a house, y'all can't get a loan, you can't get anything. This is a con. So your pros and your cons, they kind of go either way, you know. That goes into the questions and things that I feel like people should talk about with their partner before saying I do. Because once you say I do, there's a lot of things you have to go through the course and stuff to be like, me and this person ain't together no more. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that I feel like you should ask your partner or talk with your partner about before getting married is parenting styles. How do they plan on parenting their children? And do they even want children? Because people are getting married and finding out that their partner don't want kids. That's something you should have known before you got married. That is another reason why you will end up in a divorce. Because if you want kids and your partner doesn't, and that's something that you're not willing to waver on or compromise on, it's more than likely it's not going to work. You know, that's something that needs to be talked about. 2, learn your partner's financial habits. Learn how they are with money. Pay attention to how they are with money. Do you have somebody who is, every time they get money, they're spending, but haven't talked about a savings? Or do you have this person who is so tight-knit and gripped on money that you couldn't even get $1 out of them if times were hard? You know what I'm saying? These are things that you need to pay attention to, because maybe that don't align with how you want to spend your money or what you want to do. And at this point, if you and this person have already become intimate, I feel like there's not anything you can't talk about. Ask that person their credit score. What does it look like? Do you have any collections? These are things you should know, because when you get married and you start applying for loans for homes and stuff, they don't look at just you, they look at your partner as well. So that credit score becomes you. That debt becomes yours as well. 3, you need to talk about your long and short-term goals. If you're getting with somebody and you plan on getting married and they don't know what they want to do in the next 3 to 5 years, and it's, well, I'm going to just see and I'm going to just go with the flow. If you're the type of person who needs structure, that might not work for you. And if they don't know for sure what they even want to be doing or working towards, you just, how does that align with you? You know, maybe you both are free-spirited and that's how you want to go. And that might be a great thing, but it's something that needs to be talked about, because maybe that's something that you're not willing to waver on. 4, what expectations do they have of their partner? What type of marriage do they want? Which also goes into, why do they even want to get married? This is something you might want to know. I mean, if you plan on getting married and being a stay-at-home mom and raising your kids, and he said, no, you need to be at work going 50-50, that ain't your person. That ain't your person. Maybe he wants you to stay home and you're like, no, I want to pursue my career. That ain't your person. That ain't your person. Especially if it's not something that you're willing to compromise on. Some of these things are non-negotiables for people. Do you understand what I'm saying? 5, you need to vet the relationships that he has around him with his family. Pay attention to his family or to her family, and you need to see the type of relationships that this person has been experiencing throughout their childhood. See the dynamics that they have. A lot of people will say, I could get married to somebody, I don't care if they mommy and daddy like me. That's you, not me. I don't want to go into nobody's dysfunctional family. That makes it so much harder, especially when you add kids to it, because now kids can't see grandparents without you, and then you don't want them to keep the grandkids. You don't know what people are saying to your children. Nobody want to deal with that drama for the rest of their lives. And if that is you, then okay. However, I think that's something you really need to pay attention to, especially because that might also influence how your partner is as a partner. the things that they expect you to take and deal with from them, because that's what they've always seen in their family and around them. Another thing a lot of people don't talk about: religious beliefs. If you go to church Sunday through Sunday and you are always in there, you in there for revivals, Easter, everything, and your partner don't want to go, that could cause some strain. It may not be a deal breaker, because there's plenty of people who go to church and their partner doesn't. But however, we have to be realistic. Religion plays a basis for a lot of people and how they live their life. And if your partner isn't willing, or if your partner doesn't have those same beliefs and is not living the same way you live in, it could ultimately lead to divorce. And last but not least, their communication style as well as their conflict resolution style. These things are things that I feel you can constantly evolve and grow as you are married and you do spend that time together. So I don't feel like it is a cause for divorce until maybe somebody is like not willing to give on how they do things. And last but not least, dig into their backgrounds and find out if they have experienced any major traumas in their life, because this will determine how they communicate, how their conflict resolution is, and if you can better understand the things that they've been through, it'll help you in the end. And those are all of the tips that I want to give to anybody who plans on getting married, whether you get married young or older. This is my experience with, getting married young. And now that you know all of this, and I gave you all the pros and all the cons, and if me, almost 28-year-old Kim, could go back in time and do it again, I probably would not get married at a young age, because the risk of everything happening. Not to say that I don't love my marriage, and not to say I wouldn't marry my partner. What I'm saying is I would actually take more time to dig into the questions and the tips and the things that I've given you with my partner. Now, these are things that I am learning, or that we talk about on a daily. We've been talking about since we got married, and thank God they align, because if they didn't, imagine where we would be right now. You know what I'm saying? So no, I would wait a little bit longer. I would actually wait longer to have children. That way we could have experienced a lot more things together before saying the I do. But we are here now, and we doing it, and we 5 years in. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna beat them odds. You feel me? Because we choose to beat those odds. We choose to work on the things that we see in our marriage, and we're constantly communicating about the things that we want from our partner, the things that we need from one another. And so that's it. That is the things that I've learned. And here are some statistics about divorce here in the U.S. So it says almost 50% of all marriages in the United States will end in divorce or separation. That is a lot. That is a lot. For people who have been married before, married again, plan on getting married again, second, third, fourth marriage, 60% of second marriages end in divorce, whereas 73% of all third marriages end in divorce. So it is crazy, People, the divorce rate is extremely high. There are nearly 3 divorces in the time it takes for a couple to recite their wedding vows. That's 2 minutes. What I'm saying with these rates and these statistics is not to scare anybody. It is genuinely wanting marriages, especially these beautiful Black marriages that we are producing in this day and age to grow and to be something amazing. These are tips and tricks that I feel would help to get to that point, because it is a beautiful thing, especially when you make it a beautiful thing. None of us grew up with a handbook on how to be a husband or how to be a wife. And it don't matter if you get married at 18 or 38, you still got to figure out how to be a wife, how to be a husband. You get what I'm saying? So take the things that I've said, apply it, use it while you're dating, and I pray nothing but beautiful, healthy marriages over each and every one of you. You will survive. You will have a long, luxurious marriage together. And that's just it. To death do you part, baby. If you have made it this far in my video, I want to say thank you so much. I know this is a lot longer than what I'm usually talking to you guys, but I'm very passionate about this, okay? So thank you. I hope you click that like button. Comment down below any, thing that you've heard about marriage, what you're afraid of. If you got any questions about marriage, I got you. Go ahead, leave it down in the comment section below. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you back here again, same time, same place. Thank you.